And yes, hello, people. Welcome to Star Trek Pathos, to Touch Reflection, Part 3, which will probably be the final part of this episode. And there are a lot of people in the users and chat view, most of which are probably bots, but the thing is I don't know which of them are bots and which of them might just be new. So, if you're watching this, you're logged into Twitch, please send a message, otherwise I'm going to ban you, because otherwise I will think that you're a bot. So, I will repeat this message in a little bit, in case you didn't catch it the first time. But that's the thing that will happen. Hello, Roomspath. I know you're not a bot, you don't need to type a message. Well, you do need to, no, please continue typing messages.
Give me a sec, I might have a list to see if any of them are actually on the list.
And you might have heard some people in the background. Those people are not actually in the background, they're actually very much in the foreground.
Oh, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4 on my list, 5 are on my list.
Are the players.
Hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone.
Mm-hmm. You're looking very orange, Kango.
I know. What am I not to do about that?
So...
Oh.
It's fine. Let's just say it's your mirror universe lighting. Oh, by the way, if you haven't caught the last few episodes, yeah, that'll probably give you a hint. So, would you like to introduce yourselves and your characters?
Everyone? Okay. Sure. Top to bottom, I'm assuming. That's fine. Hello everyone. I am CangoFango, and I play Doviah Drenlich Twossock, who is the communications officer on the Pathos. On the Pathos, yes. On the ISIS Pathos.
And?
And on the USS Pathos.
Yes.
Hello, I am Dodrebur, or Dodd, and I play Captain Shiun of both the USS and ISS Pathos.
You sound
also, she's a Vulcan.
Yes, and you sound very happy about that. So, carrying on.
I am Rogue or Sir Rogue. I'm not sure if it's a legit knighthood, but hey. Well, and I play Nero, and I play the flight controller.
Thank you. The question about your knighthood, did you get it on garage sale or something like that?
No, I think it was on a D&D one, I think. But I'm not sure if it's legitly. A legit one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway.
Yes. I very much concur.
Moving swiftly onwards.
Yes, we're ready to begin, I think. So, would anyone like to recap a little bit of what happened last time?
I'll go to my notes.
Tell you one thing, it resulted in us having 5 momentum.
Mm-hmm. Maybe chat could do the recap.
No, that'll take too long. So, following the investigation trail on information leaks to the Romulans, you encountered a First Federation vessel who claimed to have already met you and have already traded information with you. Upon some investigation, it turned out that this individual was being honest, and only he was trained with the USS Pathos, not so much the ISS Pathos, who's only just arrived. Following the trail to a research outpost, you discovered that both the USS Pathos as well as another vessel, which may or may not be the Theseus, were still there and currently installing some piece of equipment. However, the installing of the equipment is not known to the Mirror Universe people. After some communication, data packages were exchanged, and there was an interesting roll made on behalf of Primetime Line Shiun, if I recall correctly. Yes. To sift out the propaganda and try to not be fooled by any of it, basically. And there was a complication which has not been resolved quite yet. So let's resume there, or let's skip ahead a little bit to give the. I don't know, what is that? Yes.
That's
there
the
we
roll.
go. That's that roll. But didn't someone assist, or was it the ship, or whatever? Because there was a
They
complication.
use as a Pathos assistant.
Yeah,
and
the
that was-
assist rolled a complication.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the ship.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes.
I didn't catch that in the screenshot.
So let's skip a little bit ahead so that the characters have time to go over the data, to think about this, to maybe plan stuff. Who knows?
Depending on which ship, freak out or just wind up the watchdog until he faints.
So, the question I have now is, would you like to continue from this point forward mainly on staying on the ISS Pathos or on the USS Pathos? Of course there will be interactions with both, but what should be the main point of view? It's up to you.
I'd prefer USS.
Yeah. I'd say
Okay.
so too.
We can do that. I'll just have to quickly rewrite most of... No.
Well, then would you really have said that it's up to us?
So,
Sure.
alright, that'll work.
Great.
Of course, if you plan to do something on the ISS Pathos, and you can just DM me. So, right.
All I'm doing is mocking the watchdog until he
Yeah.
faints. And
So-
then just go, ah.
So you were last time in, so the prime timeline, Shiun was last time informed by Mr. Zaveru that the stuff has been installed. They're ready to perform the first tests. Now, these tests would undoubtedly exert really quite significant amounts of energy to collect data on how feasible all of this is and how this would work when you actually try to get back to your own universe. The question is, do you want to explain that to the other Pathos at all, or what would you like to do with that? So, yes, Westacre has been working with Zaveru, but he's now come back on the bridge. So, what do you want to do with that? Because, and also just for simplicity's sake, just to reduce the having to talk to yourself aspect, we can have most of this go through just messages that are sent between the two ships as opposed to real-time communications, if you prefer.
Yeah, that's easier.
Yes.
Thanks, Kango.
No worries.
So you have already expressed that you're trying to return back to where you're coming from, and the other Shiun has already agreed that that is the best thing to do.
Yes.
So maybe they won't have anything against those stranger units just say, okay, we're just testing some stuff in preparation for us to return back home. Maybe it's as simple as that, who knows?
I don't.
I think probably sending them a message that we're running some tests would probably produce a lower likelihood that like if they suddenly sensed a lot of energy coming out of our ship, I feel like they'd like instinctively they'd scan it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think by heading them off with
At the
like
pass,
a little
yes.
bit of information would probably be the way, the most logical solution, I suppose.
Sure. So,
That does make sense.
I guess now the question is then, Kango, how do you want to word that?
So what are the...
Unless you're being given a direct message, send this specific text over.
I don't know then. Is it that, or am I being told what to send, or am I just being told, okay, just say that to them?
Normally I think that would just be, you would be left over to the communications officer's competence to send the proper stuff without the captain having to word it. But of course, you can do whatever you want.
In this, yeah?
Basically, you'd just be told to, your orders would be to tell them that we're running some energy intensive tests in the near future.
Okay. Aye, sir.
The near future. No, we're not dealing with time travel yet.
Sure, okay, so I send that.
Okay.
Basically send that.
Is there any specific wording you want to put around that or not?
I'm not sure if it's necessary. I think I'm just going to send that.
Okay.
If they ask for something, we can do that then.
So you receive the message. Mirror Doviah. What do you do?
Tell the captain.
Immediately go to red alert? Sure. No. So what? Tell the captain.
So
Yeah, sure.
is that should I roleplay that or not?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, so I say, Captain, I'm receiving a message from the USS Pathos. They're saying they're conducting energy-intensive experiments in the near future. That's all
I
there is.
see.
That's all there is. Okay. Okay, sure. I mean, if that's what... I mean, something might have gone, or maybe it's a deliberate thing by one of the two Doviahs, who knows? But sure, go ahead. Although, I will tell you this. It's going to be pretty interesting if, because of this little misunderstanding, this becomes a 10-parter episode.
Goodness, no. I hate... let's just say I'm not the sort of person who plays chess against myself.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to go into detail with this. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I don't...
Shall I ask for details on these tests, sir?
Get a... at least a procedural report.
Yes, sir. Okay, so
We can speed this up a little bit.
sure.
Yes.
And just we can just say, will these communications result? What is the result of them? Is this going to be all up on the up and up, and everything will? Is there going to be cooperation, and this can work without issue, or what's going to happen?
I think that there is a significant amount of suspicion on the ISS end of things. But I think Prime Shiun is... the way I've been playing her general tactic seems to be heading off problems by being honest.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Not like dangerously honest, obviously, but like
Honest enough.
Yeah.
And not as stepfather. So, sure. Things go without issue for the moment from the ships. So, let's roll for this. I'll need to bring up character. So, this is to see how the test will go. This is going to be engineering plus insight on the behalf of Maxwell Severu. So, he's going to do the main role, and it's going to be assisted by the ship. The main difficulty is 1. Or rather, the only difficulty is there's no main or secondary. So the difficulty is 1. Complication range also 1.
Right.
Any additional momentum generated might go towards solving any problems that might come up.
I think you should probably give him 1.
We're at
I
5.
think that's... yeah.
Are you okay with that, Sir Rogue? Are you awake, Sir Rogue? I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I'm good.
Okay.
There we are.
I was a coughing fit. I didn't want the thing.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, let's roll. And he's got... sure, let's say reverse engineering applies. So, here we go.
What a roll!
It appears
3,
that
4, 1.
it appears that Mr. Maxwell Severu also doesn't want to stay here for long.
Well,
So, I guess now the question is, by the way, chat, if you don't know what happened, we rolled 3 dice, each die rolled a critical success. That's 6 successes without the assist,
Yes.
with only difficulty 1. So, let's just say, Rogue, would you like to roll for the ship?
no.
Are you
Which ship
going
am I
to?
rolling?
The USS,
Right.
please.
The USS, yeah?
Yes, not the
Right.
USS, please, but the USS, Pathos.
That would
So
be
this
interesting.
is going to be engineering plus, I would probably say sensors in this case.
Oh, sensors. Engineering.
Watch that roll a 1 as well.
Sensors.
You're welcome, Room Spath. You're being a lot more active
Oh.
today than usual.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
no.
I mean, at least it was a 12. It wasn't close to being a complication. So
It's alright though.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
We're full
that
on
is-
momentum?
yeah, we're
Okay.
full, and we've got 3
Full
overflow.
momentum and over.
We've got 3 overflow.
Okay.
So, given the sheer magnitude of this success, the tests go very, very well. Do you want to stay on the bridge, or do you want to head down to engineering to be there as well for this? I'm talking to either Nero or Shiun at this point.
I think Shiun would be there.
Okay. So you're leaving Westaker in charge of the bridge. Good idea. So,
I was in charge of bridge. I'll be
Be
charged of
fine.
the anyway.
but Westaker's first officer.
Let's take it, go away.
Okay. If you want to go,
Sorry,
if you want Westaker to go away, Westaker can go away for a few seconds. So,
Nah, it's a joke. He can
Yeah.
be in charge.
so head down to engineering. You can see a device that looks like basically a large, about this big, opaque crystal sphere, like rock salt basically. And it's like it's got lights inside, so different like blue and red lights that kind of turn on and off with getting diffused lighting over it. And it's got cables running into it and things. And Zavaru is ready to begin. Give the word, and the test begins. Goes over to some of the consoles. You can see the warp core is speeding up. And you were expecting at least a little bit of shaking, but everything's very, very smooth. And after a little bit of time passes, he gives the word to shut stuff down, goes over the results, and basically everything is exactly as expected / hoped. And now all you need to do is find a suitable location to perform this maneuver at, and then you'll be home.
This what?
Maneuver, and then you'll be home.
Right.
So,
Okay. Sounds good.
if you want to use any of that momentum for obtaining information or for anything else, go ahead, but I don't really know what you would ask at this point. But if you come up with stuff, of course.
No, I think it's fine.
Great.
Probably. Sure. Yes.
So,
Okay.
during this, was the ISS Pathos scanning? Your pause indicates to me that you really want the answer to be no, but you know that the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what the roll would be like for that, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing you don't want to buy any dice this time?
Let's not.
No.
I'd say we're fine.
So,
Okay.
so that is...
One success.
I'm not sure.
Guessing. I'm guessing it's one success. Just the two.
he doesn't... would that... No, that wouldn't apply. So yeah, that's just a 1. Ship assists. Kango, would you like to roll for the ship? This time the ISS
I
payments,
would.
please.
Yes, I would. So that is science for sensors, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Anyway, how's Watchdog looking?
Nope.
Nope, so that's just 1 success. So, Watchdog is... He is looking pretty out of it. You do the same thing and where you put your hand over the console as though you were messing with controls in some way, and he doesn't even seem to notice. Even though he's looking directly at your console. Do you want to call medical to the bridge?
No.
No, you're just going to wait it out.
I'm going to leave it.
Just wait it out.
Wade it out, yes.
Does anyone else on the bridge notice?
You mean
That is the question.
Watchdog or who?
Yeah, does anyone else notice
So,
that Watchdog
he's-
is in a bad way?
Well, the thing is, he's...
Granted, keeping in mind that ISS Shiun was explicitly told during that previous call that Watchdog might not be in good shape.
So if you're keeping an eye on him, you probably would be able to tell. But if you're not specifically keeping an eye on it, you're just seeing his back as he's standing there looking at the console. There are like tiny little giveaways that might, if you're keeping an eye on it. It's up to you if you're not or if you are.
You would have been keeping an eye on it.
Then yeah, looks like he's not going to be standing for much longer.
Huh.
He gets replaced and sent to sickbay.
Okay. So, gets replaced. Young lady who takes his place. And she...
Now, how cocky is he going to be this time?
And she... It depends. What is the interaction there?
Watchdog number 2. And he said watchdog number 2 and then winks.
She raised an eyebrow, but says nothing. So,
I see. Be fun.
Let's see and say. So, Jay Baylor on the ISS Pathos has the results. He says, Captain, I have measured the expected energy fluctuations on their ship. Their weapon systems and other defensive systems have stayed the same. It appears that they were being honest about their intentions. Captain, this could be a valuable trait to exploit, should you change your mind.
They have already successfully impersonated us once. I will not take the risk.
He just turns back to his console. So, now...
And the wind-up for the second one begins.
Yeah. So, now back on the prime timeline ship. What do you want to do?
Good question.
So you know about a black sun.
Yes.
It's relatively close in the prime universe. You're not entirely sure if it's here in this universe, but it probably is. And according to the propaganda package you got, you would have to get uncomfortably close to the savage Romulan Star Empire.
Hmm.
And by uncomfortably close, I mean pretty much in their face and then some.
Could we could we perhaps mask our identity so that it appears as though we're a Romulan ship to them? To
You
others?
can try. You can try.
Okay. So I would propose that idea to the captain. On the users, of course.
No, you wouldn't tell that to the other woman.
Ah. So yes.
We would need more in-depth information on the Romulan Star Empire ships and how they appear on sensors. But I doubt our counterparts would be interested in being caught in that area either. So, let's see.
Let's see indeed. Maybe
I
we'll
think
be surprised.
Nero or the
ISS stands for
The
Imperial
original.
Starship, and USS stands for
the other
United
one.
Starship.
The other one's probably gonna be like coffee time. Oh, if he's gonna get that close, and some. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So, do you want Doviah to contact the ISS Pathos and ask about the information?
Yes.
So, how do you work that?
About the Black Sun.
So, in this case, I would allow you to make a roll, and you would be rolling against the other Doviah, a completed roll, to see.
So, would I be rolling both?
Yes, so this would be to see how convincing your message is. If the other Doviah is convinced by it, and that's how she then presents it to her captain, or if it's more like, that's suspicious, well, they want this stuff, but that more like that, maybe. You don't know. So go on, roll. So this is going to be...
What?
I'm trying to speed this up a bit if you can tell. So...
Command staring.
I would say probably command, yes, plus either, I would say presence or control.
They're the same, so let's say presence. That's 2 dice. Focus used. Subspace communications, no. Just looking through them. Theatrics?
Sure, go ahead.
Brilliant. Okay. Communication, what is that?
Just one.
I know what it is, but...
It's just one.
Okay. Well, that's not brilliant.
Wait, do you have what sort of... well, you do have... Well, actually, no, that wouldn't apply because it's engineering.
Engineering?
Yeah, the talent is engineering. No, so that wouldn't work. So, now it's time for Mirror Doviah to roll. In this case, I would probably say... Well...
Command plus reason. Maybe, I don't know.
Or insight.
Or
maybe.
insight.
Or insight. I'll go with reason.
I know what you're doing, Cango. It's obvious to anyone who can see the character sheet.
Yes, of course. Because I am being reasonable, so...
Yeah. Deliberately goes for an 8 instead of a 10.
Yeah, just don't do what I do.
Well, that's good.
Wow.
Great.
Wait, which one?
No successes.
Oh, I mean, that was a 19 as well there, so...
Oh,
Okay,
jeez.
here we go. Okay, sure. So that complication just gonna turn into threat.
Thank you for that.
Don't thank me too soon. So, you managed to send a quite convincing request for information. Make it clear what it is for, why I need it. Is Doviah allowed to include information about the Black Sun that you're looking for? Like, is that being explained? Like, look, this is what we need to get back. This is why we need the information. This is our plan. Or do you just request the information?
I'd say it would be more convincing if we would supply the additional information as well, so... Since you also said yes, sure. That's what I include.
Okay. And that gets reported back to...
The user's Pathos?
Yeah? No.
Well, those news to the eye says yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, so how forthcoming do you think Mirror Shiun would be with this information? And how much do you think Jay Baylor would accept you giving out? Or does that not matter? Is what he does and does not accept completely irrelevant because you outrank him and he can't do anything about it?
Or you just totally
I think Mirror Shiun is significantly less guarded regarding
Regarding.
But regarding the like that very specifically requested data.
Okay. Right.
Like
Sure.
just giving like exactly what is needed to fulfill the role that they are trying to do.
Okay, that seems logical.
Absolutely no more.
Seems logical. So, the thing is that when there's so much logic, then evilness just has no place, really. So,
Yeah.
right, then you
Evil
get the information, which basically, the way I'm going to do this is that it's going to reduce the difficulty of trying to make yourselves appear to be a Romulan vessel at a distance. It's going to make it easier, basically. Which, by the way, previously it would have been 5. So.
I see.
Yes, logic always outranks evilinity. Yes.
Wow.
So, what do you want to do now, people?
Good question.
How are our travel capabilities looking at this point?
So, what do you mean by that?
Well, last time we were tugging along
Yes.
the Theseus, which was heavily damaged,
Yep.
and we were pretty heavily damaged.
Yes.
How are we doing?
So, you've not had a chance to repair anything. However, that being said, it was only the structure, so your structure, that was 2 breaches.
Yeah.
So all the other systems work perfectly fine. It's just, yeah, you know what that means, basically.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna win any races pulling the Theseus. However, you could try to evacuate it and leave it here, or scuttle her if you want to, which, by the way, is a naval term for sinking ship deliberately. Just for anyone watching who doesn't know, because I know that all the people who are here know. So, you could try that.
Theseus already had its computer banks wiped, right?
Yes.
All right. I think we could double check that and evacuate it then.
Okay.
I don't think leaving the structure of the Theseus would be seen as too big an issue compared to the benefit of not tugging it around.
Sure. Are you also going to take its supply of dilithium and antimatter, antideuterium?
Yes.
Okay.
Evacuate the people and the supplies. We're
Right.
keeping it.
So that happens. Let's just quickly see. Nope, everything goes smoothly. So, what if the race was against Mallard? I think it would have a fair chance then. Yes. So, that goes smoothly, and it gets finished fairly quickly. So what do you want to do then?
Nice.
I guess inform the ISS that we're going to begin our journey.
Okay. So, is there any spin you would like to put on that transmission there, Kango, or not?
I'm not sure in which direction I should spin it. I don't want to send the wrong message, so I'm just going to transmit what I'm told to submit.
Okay. So, upon hearing this on the ISS Pathos, Mirror J. Baylor turns around and says, "Captain, we cannot permit them to go alone. We do not know what information they have, and their designs seem to be very similar to our own. We cannot let this fall into the hands of the Romulans."
It was never going to.
I just wanted to make sure, Captain. Now that Mr. Westacre is no longer here, I feel it is my duty to fulfill the role of first officer. And that includes giving recommendations.
Recommendations are appropriate for senior staff. As it stands, I believe we should follow at long range.
Okay.
If they run into trouble, we can respond accordingly with warning.
All right. So,
Right.
he seems to be content with that answer. And you're off.
Yes.
One question. I was just still talking to the watchdog too, so I didn't
Yeah,
hear
go ahead.
anything else in much further.
Mhm.
So I didn't hear any of that. So if you told us to go, I wouldn't have gone.
Okay. So, you mean you've got to be reminded or told to, look, please follow that ship?
I'm still talking to the watchdog thing.
Yeah.
Does she respond?
She... Let's see.
Is it a general conversation or am I just talking to myself?
Huh. Okay. So, she at first seems to be quite resilient, but then she does respond once, and that was all you needed. Because with that one response, you've got plenty of leverage to pull her into a conversation that she is really not does really not want to be in, because it's also distracting to her. But you've managed to pull her into it.
Yay! That's what I needed. Just a conversation.
Yeah. Although Kango, we're off to see the black sun, the wonderful black sun in space. Question is, how will you see it's there? Anyway, so
Well,
let's skip forward until you get near the border. If that's okay, unless anyone wants to do anything between then that they would like to.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Sounds good.
it's alright.
Okay. You don't seem so certain about that, Kango.
Yeah.
But since you're not saying anything further,
I wonder how well do I get to know second watchdog on this journey?
knows?
Because all I did is that was everybody.
I've DM'd you, Shoutouts.
I love
Okay.
it. It's quite funny.
Just to make sure.
So,
Okay.
you get to the border. Quick sensor sweep reveals no ships, no listening outposts, no anything. As if the border were completely unprotected.
Oh.
Oh no. Guess we're going slowly.
You want to go in slowly?
Yeah. If it... We play in the
Yes,
the
yes.
US. Yeah.
The other one's just following in
Yeah.
long range.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Okay.
slowly.
Okay, you go in at low warp speeds, which is still many times the speed of light, but no, it's slow. Slow.
There's that person getting kicked up the ass.
And nothing seems to happen. You've crossed the border.
Uh-huh.
No sign of any ships yet. Nothing seems to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're disguising at this point.
Yes. So let's roll. That would probably have happened before on the journey, but
Yeah.
sure. So it's going to be a difficulty 3. A complication range. I'm going to spend threat to increase the complication range to 2. So difficulty 3, complication range 2. And
Okay.
this is going to be a roll again for Mr. Maxwell Zeverin. So, do you want him to buy dice? So we've got 5 momentum left because 1 evaporated due to scene change.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So do you or do you
So-
not?
While his last roll did go very, very well, there's also a significant chance that the next one will go very, very
True.
poorly.
But he does have
Wow.
cautious engineering, so if you spend a
Yes.
momentum, he can re-roll a die.
Yes.
He also has bold engineering, so if you use threat, he has the same thing.
Damn. Nice.
Noted.
Hello, VGR!
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. We're just crossing into the Romulan border, trying to get back home. We're trying to disguise ourselves as one of their vessels in case any of them notice us. So, the question is, do you want to buy dice? If so, how many?
Tricky question.
My instinct is to go for 2 on this.
Sure. And we've got the momentum for now, so I'll give him.
For now.
For now. That indeed is quite accurate. Hold on one moment, I need to... one moment. There we go. There we are. That's all I wanted to do. Right,
Okay.
so we are down to 2 momentum.
Mhm.
So here we go. Rolling 4 dice. And he doesn't have a focus that applies for this roll.
Oh no.
Maybe warp engines, but that's kind of pushing it a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just roll.
God. Come on. Hey, look.
Okay.
Well, good.
So,
Well,
3 success.
that 18. Should he re-roll that 18? Or do you want to keep it like this? It's only it is a difficulty 3, so you've already won. Do you want to try for
since
momentum?
already a success, I'd rather not risk a complication.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to anyway because you're rolling for the ship.
Yeah, but
ouch.
So, this, I would say, is probably going to be...
indeed.
Actually, I would say probably engineering either plus structure because of you're trying to mask your structure, what the ship looks like, or communication because you're trying to send or
Broadcast.
send signals that would change how the ship is perceived. So either one of those could work, I would say. You could also do engines, maybe, if you wanted to. Whatever of those you want to do, really, I would think.
I think engine.
Okay.
Right?
I heard the screenshot. So,
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
good. So you've generated a momentum. So we're back up to 3.
Cool.
Nice.
Now, I'm faced with a bit of a decision, which is, do I want to introduce a complication, or do I not? So, let's look over to the threat count to see if that's any sort of indication of how likely the situation is to get O. I see.
May we see that too?
No.
May
So,
Chat see that too?
no. So,
See. Chair. It's the fret chair.
you successfully make alterations, and you appear, at least from long-range sensors, as though you were a Romulan warbird. That is, Romulan warbird, basically. Zavaru gives the all clear. Everything seems to have worked correctly. He's double checked it. So what do you want to do?
I suppose we proceed.
Proceed as caution.
Okay, you proceed.
Yes.
Now, is the ISS Pathos going to stay on the edge of the neutral zone, or what was the neutral zone? Or are they also going to try to hide themselves and push in?
I think they'd go in.
They'd go in and hide themselves and mask their warp signature as well?
Yeah.
So,
Or just go in as they are without.
hey, guess what roll we need to make again?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we've got 3 dice, so you could technically buy another 2 for the other Severu as well if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I think just give them 1.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
If
That's fine.
it
Careful.
fails, 'twas meant to be, I suppose.
It was meant to be indeed. Well, we'll see.
It depends on how much concentration I'm actually paying
But
on that rather than.
Although, luckily...
spending 1 does allow for the cautious engineering, so...
Luckily, he also has a focus that applies, whereas the actual one didn't.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
handy.
and I kind of have to spend the threat to increase the complication range for because it's the same roll. So, here we go.
Oh.
Okay,
Well,
that's a reroll.
yep.
Strange. For me, only 1 die rolled.
Huh.
Well,
Okay.
well, yeah, lucky.
Okay, so
That's strange.
Rogue, would you like to roll for the ISS Pathos?
Oh,
Let's do
I-
engineer ISS. Let's roll for engineering and engines again.
Engines and engineering, right?
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay,
just one
okay.
die because you're assisting. That's okay.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that also works,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. So,
Indeed.
on long-range sensors, looks like 2 warbirds are just crossing the border to re-enter Romulan Star Empire space. You're getting closer and closer and closer, and when you're about halfway to your destination, USS Pathos, since you're in front, you receive a hail from nowhere. You get the direction-ish, but there's nothing there on sensors. Do you want to acknowledge it? Do you want to put it right on speakers, audio only?
Me?
Or do you want to send a response?
So what am I exactly receiving?
You're being hailed. Someone wants to establish communications, basically.
I say, Captain, something's hailing us, or someone's hailing us.
Given the general crew of the ship, I think sending a response might be the best approach.
Right.
Unless Shiun fancies to pose as a Romulan.
I mean,
You've got the ears for it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And maybe Doviah could assist with those theatrics.
Oh no.
Just put a green screen behind the captain's chair that has a Romulan bridge on it. Okay.
No, if you contact it from like one of the conference rooms using the screen like that, you just basically see a wall behind you. That wouldn't be an
okay.
issue if you wanted to go that way. Or since
I'd say that's backup plan
okay.
if they require a follow-up.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'd say probably send the message and kind of prepare just in case that is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Quick, get the wigs. Yeah, you would need to hide Eliza.
Anything specific I should send, sir?
Oh man.
I don't know enough about the universe to know what to send, so
It's
I don't know.
gonna be up to you.
What message?
I mean, they're just trying. They're basically saying, knock knock, hello. Please respond, essentially. And you want to send a message back. What do you want that message to say? Maybe Nero has some input. You've got all that history knowledge out of anyone here, except for maybe Shiun. You would probably know enough about the Romulans from the Romulan War, which is a prequel thing, but you might know about that if you wanted to give a roll to try to compose an appropriate message.
Yeah. Right.
So you can do that, and I will allow either Shiun or Doviah to assist.
Yeah, focus.
I will warn you, this will have a pretty high complication range.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What kind of role would that be?
So it is, I would say, either insight or reason, plus I'm gonna have to go with probably it would probably be science, would be my guess, because scientific study of studying and history might fall under science, but if it's a specific kind, it might also fall under security, because it's maybe knowledge of the Romulan tactics, if you're looking at it from that point of view, and that's how you learned some bits about that, maybe some communications that were intercepted or some things like that, because the Romulans are still pretty much unknown, mostly unknown in the Prime timeline at least. So you've only got really old stuff to go on. Romulan Warbot, who will do its best to look straight through y'all's cover.
You see that who's there?
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, oh yes, sorry.
And yes, by the way, this is the complication that I was debating whether I should introduce earlier.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But it is much better than if you had not tried or had failed at the disguising thing.
Yeah.
So,
But that's not.
what's the complication range?
Okay. So I'm going to say that the difficulty is 2 and complication range is 3.
Ooh. 3.
Could I assist with science plus reason and a focus and persuasion?
Yes.
Can I roll another dice?
Sure.
Pretty soon you'll be able to roll 3 more dice. Okay.
Right.
1 momentum left.
So,
I guess you're lucky that it wasn't the other ship that went ahead.
I'll invent another reason for that one. Well, here we go. You're horribly wrong.
Well, not that
Okay.
bad.
So you've got the successes. Now it's time for the assist. Let's see if the assist helps, hinders, or messes it all up. Which is the same as hindering it, technically.
Yeah, it's a who's.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's literally my lowest as well.
Ooh.
Okay.
There we go. So you've got 1 extra.
So we get that momentum back.
Yep.
Nice.
Whew.
Right. So a message is composed using partially the knowledge that, because the thing is that even though the information packet you got from the ISS Pathos had lots of info about the Romulan Star Empire on it, Shiun was quite right in assuming that most of that is probably inaccurate and propaganda. So instead relying on Nero's own research and knowledge of the Romulans in the Prime timeline, which may be a gamble, a message has been composed. Doviah, would you like to send the message?
I would.
Okay. So message gets sent and the hail stops.
Right.
So, do you want to wait around or do you want to go? Waiting around
No.
is going to maybe mean that you're gonna have to deal more with communications,
Probably not
but
then.
going quickly means that it might be more suspicious.
Could we accelerate gradually?
No,
It's
I'm
like,
going
no,
to
we're
carry on
staying.
what we're
We're
doing.
just saying no, we're not. We're totally not. Go. No,
We'll just carry on what we're doing.
carry on at normal
normal.
speed. Normal speed.
Yeah. Normal as we're doing.
Okay.
Oh.
You carry on. And
God.
on long range sensors, you see really far away. So it's much more than long range. It's this probably like a light year or something like that away. You see appearing a Romulan warbird. I'll see if I can find a picture.
Lovely. Oh, I'm back in a minute.
Sure. Go ahead, or backwards if you prefer. So this is the warbird from underneath and behind. I'll just post it in reference material as well.
Alright.
We'll be back in a moment. I'm just quickly typing something. 1 moment. Okay.
Right. Oh, there it is, yes.
So, yeah, that's what the ship looks like from behind and slightly back. So, looking on the round disc between the helm and tactical consoles, you can see that the bird of prey, bird of prey, Romulan bird of prey, is keeping its distance and course. So they're going parallel with you. They're not trying to hail, they're just essentially shadowing you at a distance that's great enough that you still appear as though you're two Romulan bird of preys. Which will work fine for now.
Yeah.
So it'll stay that way.
So, is there anything anyone would like to do, or do you just wanna continue and hope they break off?
Probably taking you as so far just
Yeah, for now,
I think if they're not trying to close the distance, just continuing would be good. With the hope that by the time they would be inclined to close the distance, we're hopefully close enough to our goal to just kind of go for it.
And what happens to the Isis Pathos? Well, who knows?
Who cares?
Maybe she'll come with you.
Well, hopefully not.
Hopefully they are unable to do so without installing that special equipment we added.
You could tell Mirror J. Baylor that you've decided to go on a recon mission into the other universe. You'd probably buy that.
And the last second, the ISS just puts a tractor beam on the USS. Or something. I don't know.
They keep shadowing you, and let's see what the commander does. Oh, sorry, Centurion. What the Centurion does. 2.
Alright. 2?
Okay. No, he's just gonna keep following. Just gonna keep paralleling your course.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, yeah, Eliza says, "Captain, do not be sus. If we have even the slightest mishap, we're effed." Well,
It doesn't sound like a Starfleet member talking, really.
not really,
perhaps.
but she's not really there because she's not really Starfleet, but she's there in the fan fiction. So, I mean, technically, this is all fan fiction because it's not.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We aren't affiliated with anyone.
Anyway, so.
Yeah. Yes.
Nero, you see them there, just on the edge of sensor range. Just that little dot that's just there, and it's keeping its distance, just staying with you until you approach the system. Whose name I either have forgotten or have not come up with. Hold on.
Okay.
One moment.
Sure.
I don't think I've come up with a name of the system, but it doesn't matter anyway. You come to the system, and you can see the star basically looks like it looks very dark grey with basically being as though it's being backlit and has an aura of light around it, the sides, even though the actual plasma is a dark grey.
Oh damn.
And yes, you're here. It's going to take Zaveru a little while to get everything prepared, and then you are ready to go.
Oof.
Okay.
So, because of how well that previous roll went, I'm not even going to roll to see if he does it, just gonna roll to see how long it takes him.
Oh, that's too low.
So, this is a base difficulty of 0, and more successes just equals he's gonna get it done faster.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 1 momentum. Do you want to spend it or not? It's just complication range 1.
What exactly is this roll for again?
This is to make final preparations to then try to slingshot yourselves into another universe.
Will the scene switch between those two things?
Probably not. But it depends. It depends on what the Romulans do.
Does indeed.
I mean, it's a difficulty 0 task. Just how long it takes. More time means more time for things to go wrong. But also, if you roll poorly, you might need that 1 momentum.
I think just roll.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. I mean, the episode is supposed
Makes
to
me
go.
anxious, but
Okay, here we
just
go.
roll. Okay,
Oh,
Wow.
good
there we
job.
go.
Great.
A 4 and a 13. Great. So that's 2 more momentum, so we're at 3. Things are going well.
Awesome.
Nice.
The
Nice.
Romulan bird of prey has been staying at the same sort of distance and has been waiting. But now seeing that both of you are now in the system, you get hailed again.
Captain, they're hitting us again.
This time it's a video, so it's visual as well, not just audio.
It's a visual call, sir.
All right, time to use that prepared video call space.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck,
From earlier.
Captain.
Yep. And yes, I did deliberately use threat to introduce this. So,
Yeah.
Deliberately as well.
God damn it.
they haven't found us out yet,
Not quite yet.
but
We'll see
They're
how it goes.
calling.
We'll see how
the
it
phone is ringing and it's almost falling off the table.
Ah.
Which of course is back when there was a mechanical bell that was moving the object around.
Mhm.
Anyway,
The space telephone, the space table, of course. Yeah.
right, we'll okay. So, conference room. Generic wall behind you. And you've made sure that there isn't a Starfleet insignia there.
Yes.
Just in the background.
Just, oh, hello there, Romulan Commander. Wait, why do you... No, that's ridiculous. Why do you say that? Oh.
It's a souvenir we picked up last
Yes.
week.
So, right, you're in the conference room. You have some makeup being applied and some clothes changed. The quartermaster has quickly made some clothes for you. I'm assuming that there's something that Doviah is going to do to basically hold them on the line, like delay them, some sort of
Yes.
excuse. Like, what do you want to do for that?
And there's always the thing that technical difficulties and will accept the call shortly or something.
If you want
But
to
if
do that.
they, I don't know, if
I mean,
they
we
could
would've-
look through that or not.
We would presumably have made the more time-consuming preparations after the first call.
True, but this is like, hey, we're calling you, and you need like at least a couple of minutes to go into that room, change clothes, and be ready to begin.
Right.
And you're acting a little bit suspicious.
And so,
So it's not long that you've got a stall.
yeah, it's just something that they won't just look through. I'm debating on whether they would look through that or not. We've just told them. I could just tell them the captain will be available in a few moments or something.
Like-
Just a message.
You may not want to use the
Like
word captain.
something like the
Yeah, the
captain is
well,
not
captain.
It would-
currently on
it
the
would be-
bridge
it would
and
be
is
s-
getting to a
it-
location to receive the call.
Yes.
It would be Centurion.
Centurion.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, not whatever, because they were based on the Romans. So,
So yeah, that's what I say. So
well, Roman / Korea, but
okay. So yeah,
Nero's just
I
getting
see
ready
this,
in
the
case it goes wrong.
Centurion
mhm.
isn't at the moment on the bridge or whatever it is, but they will be soon, and basically that's it. Basically, the Centurion will be ready to receive the call soon. Please hold.
But anyway, yeah, Neo's basically talking to make sure it's ready just in case this goes wrong.
Mhm.
Basically just go.
I see.
So he's talking to his engineer.
Sorry, what? Who are you talking with? Sorry?
Neo talking to is the engineer to make sure to like activate as soon as if it
Yeah.
does go wrong.
Yeah.
To activate and then go boom.
So, I'm totally not sending private messages to anybody. So,
Yeah. Thanks.
everything's ready. But I do need to know what you're gonna do to delay, if anything. You could just.
I did say.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
So I
you want to
say-
do technical?
I
or-
see the Centurion is not currently in the
Oh
room
right,
to
sorry.
receive
Yes.
the call.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
My,
will be
yes,
soon.
yes. Okay, you say that. A little bit of time passes. everybody's getting ready. Lights, camera, action. And I guess that the call begins. So, on the little monitor on the table comes the face of a man wearing what looks like a brass helmet that partially goes all the way down to where the chin is. It's got like a strap underneath. Wearing what looks like sort of golden chain mail a little bit. And very colourful lighting in the background. Says, "This is Centurion Tolmoon. Please identify your mission in this system."
Hold on a moment.
It's fine. I'm sure he'll wait.
Okay.
Tap, 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 tap. Deserve be. Yep, you're getting more and more nervous. Some predicts.
I think.
Yes, Halfleet is held out of space. That is correct.
What's a good lie? That's not too much of a lie.
How about just going with the Tamil classic of classified operations? Maybe you'll buy that, who knows?
Depends on his rank, I suppose.
Well, he did say Centurion, so you'd probably be of equal rank. As far as you know.
Doink, 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 doink.
Alright, yeah, I'd try it. See how that goes.
You try it? Okay. So, I'm going to need to roll. This is going to be command plus presence against his command plus insight.
Well, that's a good roll for me.
We've got 3 momentum.
Persuasion.
Sure.
Okay. Should I buy a die or not?
I don't know. You're probably going to need dice to see if, well, if you make it back home, okay, as well.
Yeah. That's what makes it tricky.
You could always go the other option that shall not be named.
The classified thing would probably work. I mean, it does sound plausible, I think at least.
I mean, you got to see it from his perspective. He's just seen these 2 Romulan warbirds, well, bird of praise, come across the border with the Terran Empire. They've not given identifiers. They're heading to the strange system, stopping there. Something's maybe going on there. Maybe he'll buy it. Maybe, who knows?
Right, let me look at my values. Oh.
This being so strange would tie in with it being classified. So just
Maybe.
Yeah.
like, alright,
maybe-
we just don't know the rest of it. And,
Or maybe
yeah.
he just thinks that it's going to be a petty excuse.
Mm.
I think I'd like to buy one.
Yes, sure.
Is this?
It is quite important.
We don't. We don't need this guy on our backs.
Uh-huh.
Well, he's already on your back. You just don't need him in your face.
Yeah. Alright. Let's hope for the best.
Agreed. Wow.
Ah,
Hey!
Phew.
Lot of crit.
Damn!
congratulations. So,
Um,
now it's time to see what he's going to roll.
And the focus mattered. That was a 4.
Oh, great.
great.
So,
Oh man. Ugh.
okay.
So.
So, sure, let's just do a straight roll. That's 2 successes. So,
Okay.
alright. You've succeeded a lot. Apparently, Shiun can be quite commanding when she needs to be. Who knew? And you explain that you are on a secret mission by direct order of the Praetor, and that he shall remain at distance and not interfere. Does that sound like a good message to send?
Yes.
10 out of 10 message right there.
Would send again. No, don't.
Yeah, send it again.
So, and
I know.
you say that. It's clear that there is still some suspicion there, of course. But he seems to accept that. And he cuts the call. Maybe even a little bit too easily? Although,
Let's get
quickly checking with the bridge. Quickly checking with the bridge. He's not moving anywhere. He's staying at his position.
Oh my petty damn.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just quickly write some text. Dun, 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 dun.
Sure. That's fine. Have you found this out? No, not yet. Not yet.
No, not yet. Not quite yet.
Hopefully it will not come to that. At the moment it's going well though.
So, apologies for these pauses, but writing stuff takes a little bit of time, and it is quite important. So, okay. Now, on the bridge, you've probably been listening into the communication,
Mm-hmm.
and you, J. Baylor verifies, staying at position. What do you want to do? Now this is just a normal scan without rolling. What do you want to do? So, in this situation, what would Nero want to do?
Are we ready?
Not quite yet. Still need a little bit more time.
God damn it.
Okay.
As soon as you're ready.
Do you want... Okay, so...
Right.
Because...
Just go over it in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Go over it in his head.
Yeah, so Westaker's also there. He says... That felt a little bit too easy. My experience, that means one of two things. Either he's calling for backup, or he's making some calls. Jabela recommends that he run a more detailed scan of the area that the Romulan vessel is in. Now, the scan will be detected by them. Is it worth it? What do you think?
I don't think so.
No.
Probably not.
No? So just...
Nero's still concentrate too much on what he's doing.
I think it would just draw more attention to us, so no.
Okay.
I think we should hope that their desire to not tip us off gives us enough time to do what we need to.
Okay. We can do that. Maybe. We know.
Yeah,
Who knows?
just carries
So,
on.
at this point, I need Mirror Doviah to give me an engineering plus insight check.
Okay. Subspace communications focus?
What do you say the focus was called?
Subspace communications. Oh, what's this?
Sure.
I shouldn't have asked for that. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's just brilliant.
So, looking over, you notice this is while the USS Pathos is communicating with the Romulan ship. You notice that there seems to be a little bit of an underlying signal in that as well. A little bit of an underlying signal that is piggybacking off of the other main signal. You check, it's not coming from the ISS Pathos' systems. You don't know where it's coming from. What do you want to do?
Tell the captain. I'd say, Captain, there seems to be an underlying signal.
The captain is currently not there. She's currently getting dressed in case she needs to speak with the Romulans.
Oh, yes, okay. So who's in the captain's chair?
It would be Nero who's been talking.
I tell Nero then. There's an underlying signal coming from an unknown source. There's the USS Pathos communicating with the Warbird, but there's something else there as well.
So this is Mirror ship on the ISS.
No, he's not concentrating whatsoever. He's not concentrating whatsoever.
Mirror Nero.
But
No,
I will
Alex is not concentrating. Still talking to what?
At this point, I will point out that you are currently in charge of the bridge. I will point out.
Yeah. How much
You've learned.
does Mira know about Twossock?
you've learned a good deal about her. She apparently grew up on an isolated colony, and ever since then, she wanted to join the Empire, the Terran Empire, as an officer, because the Terran Empire protected her world from savage attacks by the world's previous occupants.
Okay, he's going to show off a little bit, so he'll probably say, can we isolate the signal?
That would be a roll. It would be a difficult roll.
That would be a roll.
What? Roll? Are you going to roll the ship out? Roll the ship out? How bad?
Okay, what roll is it?
Engineering plus, I would say... Well, I would say that, wouldn't I? No, 1 second. Hold on, I need to pull up a thing.
Sure.
So, this would be... I would say probably engineering plus either control or daring. Or reason. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you're trying to isolate it, it would probably be reason.
Why am I being such a pain?
Subspace communications applies again.
Okay,
Doesn't it?
Yes,
Or,
no.
no.
Cryptography would, but just subspace communications on its own would be stretching it, I think.
Thanks,
Then no, I
my
suppose.
ghost just crashed. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Alright.
Well,
That
the ship assists.
Well,
Okay.
So, Dodd, would you like to roll for the ship? So this is going to be communicate. Well, no, it's going to be computers plus, I would say, security.
Alright.
Okay.
Yep.
wow.
So,
Yeah, it serves him right. It serves him right.
It's a message.
yep, it is. Well, you're not entirely sure if it's a message. There's a signal there.
It's a signal.
There's a signal there.
There's a signal.
And now that you're looking over it, if it is encrypted, it's an encryption that you've never seen before. It might be a... So in your time during the recruitment camps, you did learn about some cases where it's a little trick you can do, where if you've got subspace communications with someone, you can send a signal along with that, and then that's disguised as a transmission, but it's actually basically just a type of sensor. It's like a scan that is disguised as part of the communication.
Mm-hmm.
This might be that. You don't know. If it is, you've never seen it before, it just came to your mind, it might be that, it might be something completely different. Or could it be just as simple as a hidden message, transmitted by who knows what? So, what do you want to do?
Let's just wait and see. Be ready just in case. This could go horribly wrong.
Alright. So you're just going to stand by, which means that pretty much everybody's now just standing by and waiting until prime timeline Zaveru gets ready. Yes?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's wait for a little bit then, shall we? So, how is everybody?
Basically, it's just, there's no point, like
True.
blowing our own backsides.
No, I mean, it's
Well,
absolutely true.
It's dumb.
It's absolutely true. So, after a few minutes, which seem like taking quite a long time, even though it's not that long.
Like it, don't like it, don't like it. Too quiet.
USS Pathos, as soon as you get to the bridge, a notification.
Come on.
A Doviah that everything's set up and ready to go.
Let's go.
You can slingshot. So,
Let's...
Right.
are you gonna go right away? Not even gonna wait for the captain's word, just gonna go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Captain, but
So,
time to play.
now.
I'm just a little too nervous for this.
So, this is going to be 2 rolls.
Okay.
The first roll is going to be a piloting roll to see, because basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to slingshot through the outer corona, no, not that corona, a star's corona, of the star. That's part of it. The second part of it is going to be a roll to operate the equipment, the special equipment, properly, which has to be done from the bridge, because it has to be done basically in lockstep with helm. So,
So I have to do one roll, right?
you've got to do 1 roll, and you can assist the
cool.
other.
Right.
So,
Okay.
the question is, so you also get an assist.
That's fine.
Well, actually in this case, yeah, you get assisted from the ship. So, so it's going to be con plus either control or daring.
That's fine. It's already set.
So the difficulty is 3, and I'm going to boost that
Ooh.
to difficulty 4.
Fuck. Again, don't care.
We don't have a lot of momentum.
2.
I don't know. 2 momentum, yeah. Now might be a time to use determination if you can, because you can't use it on an assist.
An inspirational speech.
I think it's a bit too late for that.
Right, well, let's see, yeah, I know that. Yeah. That's the value, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that I have the value for that one.
Uh-huh.
Which means I just need to
You need 2 successes.
get 2 and 3 dice. 2 successes, but can I buy dice? Still
Yeah.
be fine?
Yeah?
We
Cool.
have 2 momentum. It's an awkward
So
number to
it's-
have anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So I roll 3. Still got 2 anyway, so that's fine. I just need to get 2 with 2 dice. What's the complication range?
Or get 1 and get an extra from the assist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Complication range in this case is
Okay.
1.
Good.
There's not a lot of potential for things to go wrong here. It's just difficult to get it right, basically.
Do or die. Wait for a minute. I love those. And I usually do very well on these. It comes down
Thank
to
you for
that.
saying that out loud now.
Here we go.
No. Right.
We don't go
Focus
yet.
is none. Focus is none because I don't know. Is there none? I don't think
Mm,
there is any. Don't think no. Actually, navigator no.
Well,
I would
Not
say
full
I
grasp.
would say
Maybe.
that if you're communicating with the rest of the bridge who are operating the technology that you've installed,
Oh well, yeah.
I would say that quantum mechanics would apply in this case. Because you're not just doing what you're told, but you've also got an idea of why you're doing it and what you're trying to achieve for the others to get right. So I would say that one applies.
ooh,
Well, now we're going okay.
nice.
Because who knew that the pilot had quantum mechanics focus?
Oh. Don't know.
Well, bump.
Well,
yeah.
you've got the 4 successes you needed.
Mhm.
And I
So-
don't have to reroll, so that sucks.
So, all right. Now,
I know.
who would like to roll the
No
ship?
rerolling.
I'll do it.
Ballsy.
Okay, go ahead. So this is going to be
Yeah.
engines plus con.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Okay. Nope.
Ooh.
Right? It wasn't
We got the
another
4
complication,
anyway.
so
Well, good
That's
thing you
something.
bought. Good thing you bought that extra die then.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got the 4 anyways, and we got complications, so that kind of sucks.
Okay. So, the complication I'm going to introduce is that as you're starting your run, you're getting
You
closer
stumble.
and closer and closer.
Uh,
You can hear the warp core winding up in the background. Doviah, you get another message from you get another video comms from the Romulan bird of prey.
getting another visual call.
What do you want to do?
well, the captain apparently isn't on the bridge, so
Nope, she isn't yet.
presumably she's back
She's
where
still
she
there.
was still.
Yep. Probably just halfway through getting her clothes off and putting the other ones on again. So,
All right,
do you go back into costume?
guess so.
Okay, get back into costume. And on screen comes the Centurion.
Mm-hmm.
And says, the Romulan Star Empire is grateful for your assistance. However, you are aware of the dangers posed by a black sun, are you not?
Sorry, taking notes. The dangers are necessary in order to attempt something of greater value.
Very well. Should you require assistance, our bird of prey stands by to assist at a moment's notice. Now the question is, how easy do you want to make life for the ISS Pathos once you're gone? Yes,
Okay.
gone like that. Yes, thank you for demonstrating.
Bye, Rogue. He's just off.
Yeah, but that's funny because that's what the
Yeah.
Romulans will think once you're.
I think given the reluctant nature of the assistance we were given, the withholding of as much information as possible throughout the course of this. Bye again. Hi. I think Shiun would just leave them to whatever fate's in store for them when we're gone.
All right. I mean,
Like, she's not going to do anything to help,
Ooh.
but she's not specifically going to do anything to give them problems either.
interesting.
She's just going to kind of leave.
Let me
Hopefully-
double check your values.
Hopefully we'll never get to encounter them again then.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I mean this just has the perfect makings of a level 20 bad guy turning up again.
Uh,
So
Yeah, none of my values say
I know.
I must be particularly merciful
No.
to people who are not allies.
True. And maybe, who knows, maybe there's a little bit of Mirror Shiun in you. Anyway.
Well, that would be the point of Mirror Universe's
yeah,
existence.
it would be. It
So-
would be. So, it's actually quite poetic in a way. So, you give the Romulans no warning of what's going to happen. The call gets ended. And now, back to the bridge, where alarms are going off. Alarms that are supposed to be going off. Shields are up. Because radiation is increasing, heat is increasing, you're getting closer and closer, everything's starting to shake a little bit.
as does.
Yes? So, now, at this point, I'm going to need someone on the bridge to make an engineering plus either control or daring check. Do you think that Doviah might be someone who might be good at that? Even though your communications, your engineering knowledge and skill is probably at least somewhat high.
I mean, engineering is my highest discipline,
Mm-hmm.
so control and daring is both 9. So
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Haha. Yeah. I could do that.
So you want to quickly hop over to the operations station?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So,
no focus applies.
you will be assisted by Nero. This is going to
Okay.
be engineering plus either control or daring.
And we have one momentum.
One momentum.
And this is probably the last roll of the session, unless
True.
something goes horribly wrong. So you could always use determination if it applies.
If it applies, the difficulty is 3. Gonna boost that by 1 to 4.
Okay, so would the value hold your reason close but your confidence closer apply?
How's that
Oh,
a value?
man.
Wait, that is a value.
Yes.
My brain
Did you think
used
focus?
so many things.
Did you think focuses?
It's alright.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was,
that happens to me too sometimes.
yeah. Terminology.
It's
Mm.
fine.
Yeah.
Would that apply or perhaps never lose
Well-
hope? Survival first, luxury second?
That last one, no. But there might be a chance for the other two. Just give me your case. No, we're not having another another court scene yet. That would happen after.
So this roll is for what exactly?
This is to actually operate the equipment that was installed to initiate the jump to the other universe.
Okay, so who was at that station before me?
A quite inexperienced looking crewman
Oh,
who
right.
was very nervous.
I see.
You can make a case for those values
I
if you
know.
want to. Because you suggested them, so clearly you must have an idea of why you think it might apply. So just tell me why you think that value applies, what it means to your character and why that applies. I mean, it's
Maybe
much
if I
easier
s-
with this one
maybe
because
if
this
I've
character.
seen-
It's much easier for this one because this character at least has 4 values, not like your other character.
Yeah. Yeah. So the hold your reasoning close to your confidence closer. So if I've seen that crewman, it might be reasonable to have an engineer handle the engineering thing. But if I've got more confidence, then it'd be perhaps better if I do it. So maybe that would apply like that. Like if I've got more confidence in myself than in him at the moment. I don't know. That's
I think maybe it might work better in the context where this isn't your area of expertise. Your ability to reason through it is not as great as you'd like it to be, but you have the confidence to overcome that challenge.
Yeah, that does sound better.
Yeah, that does sound better.
It does sound better.
The way that you said that was just so funny.
So I'm spending the momentum as well for the extra die.
Okay.
So that's how many dice is that? So what is the value actually?
That would be rolling
that's the-
3, and if you're spending determination, you can get that extra crit.
Okay.
Okay.
So, well, I guess go ahead. And you're gonna get assisted. So do you wanna buy that die?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I really do. Okay.
God damn it.
So that's. Sure, I'll roll. I should roll.
What are your talents?
Talents. Tough.
You have
Collaboration.
cautious engineering.
Yes. So how could that help?
Roll
So how could that help?
You can re-roll.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can re-roll the complication,
Sorry.
since you did spend 1 momentum.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
That's 4 successes. So now let's see.
4 successes, no complication
Yep.
yet.
Yep. Now let's see if Nero can assist. And I'm going to
What am
say.
I rolling?
So what would you like to roll?
Fitness plus medicine.
Honestly, control and God, that's my highest. What I can do is do it.
Could you please tighten the string that you're using to talk to me over, please?
I just tighten my. No, I can do control and engineering if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Right. It's 1, yeah? 1
Yes.
dicey. Christy. Guess it's no focus. I don't think I can get a cloak of mechanics twice.
In this case, go ahead. Use it.
Great.
And
Ah.
Alright, it's fine.
Okay.
It's a success.
So,
oh no, well.
Yes.
as the ship gets closer and closer to the corona of the star, you're working in tandem as you jump over to the operations console on the bridge. Going back and forth, giving orders and trajectories and speeds, and getting information from the other console of the star, and maybe solar flares and radiation and how all that works. As you begin, you can see all the way around. You can see basically a bright light forming in front of the ship as the ship begins to glow green. Everything around you begins to glow green as you kind of begin to fade out slightly, and just a little bit you fade back, and it goes back and forth, each time fading out slightly more, until one time you fade out and Well, you fade out, and when you come back in,
We're in sick bay.
you're no, it's okay.
Sweet.
When you fade back in, you are still in orbit of that star. And yeah, everybody's here. Captain, you arrive on the bridge. So, what now?
Scan the area to see if the other ships are there.
Okay.
It's a quick way to confirm that we actually left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is just a difficulty 0, 2d20.
Right. Here we go.
That's 1 success. Ship assists. So, who would like to roll for the ship? Okay, go ahead. So, can you guess what roll this will be?
It could be anything. Look at that.
Ah!
Wow.
A crit. 3 successes.
Great.
So that's
That was a
three-
1. How nice.
Yep.
Congrats.
So that's we're at 3 momentum again. Which makes sense given the momentum you've just through the
Literal-
story
the
momentum
literal
you've
momentum.
gotten.
And the ship's momentum.
So you can hear the different beeps and buzzes of the different consoles on the bridge. As Jay Baylor is scanning, just as Severu walks on the bridge and saying, "What happened? Did we make it?" Jay Baylor says, as he's still looking into his thing, "It would appear that we have. Both the other Pathos as well as the Bird of Prey are gone. However, we are still within the neutral zone. Captain, if I might suggest," and at this point, Westacre, Katsumam, says, "Yes, let's get out of here."
Yes.
I nod as well.
Let us hopefully not encounter any more Romulans.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
if you want to spend 2 of that momentum, that you're not going to use anyway because this is going to be the end of the episode, I would allow you to purchase an advantage, which is that in this case, since we're just winding down, you can just say that you don't happen to cross the paths of any patrol ships.
Let's do that.
Everybody okay with that?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Sure. So you make it out to the neutral zone, back to Federation space, and you're home. And now it's time to finally turn all of these descendants of colonists over to the Federation for them to deal with them. They've been surprisingly little trouble throughout all of this. And yes, so
Mm-hmm.
that's the end of the
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
We see the Pathos flying off into the distance as the end credits begin. Yeah, agreed. Yes.
God damn. I haven't got the.
Patriols.
Mhm.
What are patriols?
Come on, you know what it means.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Okay.
that was pretty okay. Yeah, well, so what do people think?
I'm glad we made it,
Yes.
basically.
I'm glad we rolled well when it mattered.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, was
Quite
nice.
close.
Rubesbath says yes, was nice. Missing a second period there.
It's fine. Great to hear, though.
So,
Yes.
are we at any point going to go into what the hell was happening in the mirror universe?
I
We're
mean,
just going to leave that a mystery,
I-
never to be solved.
I think it's probably more fun if we do go into it a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
no.
it's of course up to you. If you want to share your stuff about your super secret side goal, or whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Might be good if, I don't know, whatever you want to do.
You know that weird piggybacking signal
Yes?
that you detected but couldn't find the source of? Yeah, Mirror Shiun is totally a spy feeding information to the Romulan Star Empire.
Alright. Interesting.
You successfully detected it, beating my 2 with a 3, but
You got a complication on the decryption.
So, yeah.
So now that you've pretty much said what your super secret side goal was, how about the others? Would you like to share, or would you not like to share?
Could do.
Well, I half did mine at least anyway. I got rid of half of it. Yeah, be captain. I half did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've only got one left.
Yes. So, mine was. So basically, there was the thing that another Romulan was on the ISS Pathos, which Doviah was supposed to identify and capture. So, the thing I had for that, like from the I forgot what was it called, the Imperial Empire. What was it?
Do you mean the Cabinet of Admirals?
No, the equivalent to the Federation in the.
Do you mean the
Mirror
Terran
universe.
Empire?
Yes, yeah. Thank you. So, from the Terran Empire, I've been given basically rights to look through people's logs. So they left behind like any crewman of the ISS Pathos, which I was supposed to look through. But my character was pretty much always on the bridge.
There was significant travel time where there was downtime. So you could have done more if you wanted to.
But yeah.
But you didn't have to go for it
pursue
anyway.
it. But that was
Technically,
my
I just wanted to get rid of Westacre really than anything.
Mm-hmm. There was just one more step for you to accomplish yours.
To be honest, I turned it in to get rid of Westacre.
Mm-hmm.
Then more than anything.
And
They
then
wouldn't be able to do the whole thing.
yeah, and then Westacre was pretty much gotten rid of. So
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that was that.
Yes.
I still had fun.
Yeah. So in chat,
Indeed.
the conversation seems to have turned to vaccines and how you can still get something even if you've got something that's supposed to protect you against it, and then it's just a whole mess of things that don't really make that much sense. So
I can't see explaining that.
But
I
how does it not make sense?
I don't really want to get into this at this point.
I mean, like, it's a vaccine, it's supposed to help your immune system fight against it. Just because it's helping doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get sick at all. But it
Correct.
means you're fighting against it better. So it doesn't affect you as much.
So yeah, we've gone 10 minutes over. We could have a long conversation, but I think
Yeah.
that maybe another time. So
Yeah.
Sure.
right. I had fun with that.
Oh yeah, it was
So
fun.
see you all next time then. So
Yeah.
bye bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Bye everyone.